Should I play Genshin Impact? Is it any good? What's the fuss about the game? You're probably wondering this if you reach this video, and I'm going to do the best I can to answer this for you. Personally, the first time that I saw the game, a few screenshots, a few videos, it was not very appealing to me, so I just discarded it. But then I started to see that a lot of people was playing the game, and I decided to give it a chance. So I played like 2 minutes and I put it back on the drawer. And finally, when I decided to make this video, I realized that I needed to play the game. It doesn't mean that I'm giving you the ultimate truth, but it is an informed opinion. So just please take it like that. It's an informed opinion. So what I'm going to do here is to examine some parts of the game, what I think it's good, what I think it's bad, and ultimately I'm going to give you a recommendation on if you should or you shouldn't play the game. So the first thing, when you look at the game, it does look good. I mean, the concept, the aesthetics may not be for everyone, but it's quite polished. And what it's more impressive is that you can play in a lot of computers. It doesn't have to be a very high-end computer. You can play on your tablet, on your phone, and you can have cross-play. So it's very accessible, and that's one of the things that it's making this game very appealing, because it's accessible even if you don't have a computer. Also, you can play it on consoles, and it's just out there. I mean, it's free to install, free to play. Not necessarily free entirely, but more on that later. So if you're playing on your console, obviously you can play it with a controller. If you're playing on a PC, you can play with your mouse and keyboard, or also you can just plug in a controller and it will work. So at the beginning you start here, and the world seems quite huge. You learn how to move, how to fight, how to follow quests, and yeah, pretty much how to explore. You start with one character, and you learn that you can improve your character. You also discover that you can gather materials and food very easily. Just move around the world and you will find them. You can hunt some animals, and you will need those further on in the game. But at this point, it's not really clear. You have a little companion that can be cute for some people, annoying for others. You will also find some monsters, and they are not particularly difficult to beat. So you may think, oh, this is a very easy game. And you also get some items that help you level your characters, and the experience at the beginning seems to be just basically free. You are leveling up very fast, it's very easy, you get tons of items. It seems like there's no shortage of anything. As you progress in the story, you will find that you can have several characters on your party, and you can switch between these characters very fast. In this case, since I'm using the controller, I can just switch between them, and you can do this while fighting. So it's very mix and match, but it depends on what characters you have available. Each character has a signature element, and as the story progresses, you will get some free characters. As you level your character and progress more with the story, you will learn that you have something called adventure rank. And every time you gain a rank, you will get some rewards. When you get to certain milestones, the level of the world will increase with you. So you can still go around the same starting areas and gain some benefit from that. The other thing that you may discover with the adventure rank is that sometimes in order to unlock certain quests, you have to acquire a certain level, a certain adventure rank. And okay, in most games, or at least from my previous experience, if you are still lacking some experience, some items, some power, some levels, you just go there and quest. And you may encounter that you run out of quests here, and it's weird. I mean, you have to rely on certain challenges that you can do daily, the daily quests to gain those adventure ranks. So you, depending on your playstyle, you may find a wall there. Okay, so let's say that it's not that important for you, this gated content, or maybe you don't play that often, so it's unlikely that it's going to be much of a hassle for you. Okay, so just take that into account. So once you discover that the gameplay is very affected by what characters you have available, you may want to get more characters. And just before we go to that, you will also find out that not every character has the same quality. Some are very useful and some are pretty much characters that you are not going to level up very much. One example, Amber. It's one of the characters that you get for free. And of course, if you invest a lot of time into her, you will make her very viable. But for most people, they won't level her up at all. Or just like in this case, she's level 21 and I have a lot of other characters that are more appealing, more fun, more interesting. And the other thing is, yeah, as you can see for these three characters over here, they have a yellow background or golden, if you will. They are right away, right from the start, better than most of the characters. They are 5-star characters and you will be aiming for this. So how do you get these characters? This is when you discover the wish system. They will give you some wishes for free. They will give you some wishes as you complete some content. But it's very unlikely that you are going to get the newest character, the character that you're wishing for, with just free content. And this is where the free-to-play game changes completely. Every month, more or less, you will get a new banner. In this case, you get a higher chance to get the characters that are in this poster. Okay, so you begin playing, you have 20 wishes that you want to spend on this. First of all, those 20 free wishes, you cannot use them for the current banner. You will have to use them for a novice banner. So, okay, you will get some base characters from that, that's fine. Can you get free wishes for the newest characters? Yes, you can do that. Is it limited? Yes, very limited. Especially if you are not spending money on the game, the amount of wishes that you will get, like just playing for free, will be very limited. And it's not that easy to get the character that you want. So just by playing the game, you will get some resources that you can exchange for this currency, and you can make some wishes. Let me make a wish right now so you can see what it's like, okay? So just make a wish, and most of the time you will get a weapon. And they will be pretty ordinary. Sometimes you will get a character, and a very few times you will get the character that you're seeing in the banner, the one that you really like. And if you really like the character, playing for free, doing the content, farming for resources will not be enough to gather enough currency to get the character that you like before it went away. If it goes away, you can still get it, but it will go into a pool of all the other characters, and getting the one that you actually want will be way harder. So you will have to spend some money. That's the reality of it. If you want a specific character, the only way to have it will be to pay. And it's not like you're going to pay a certain amount and it's yours. No. You will have to pay for primogens that you can then exchange for this currency in order to wish. And it's not like, okay, I'm going to buy enough to make 10 wishes and it's going to be mine. No. You can wish 80 times for a specific character and not get it. You can get any of the other ones that are in the banner. You can even get some characters that are less likely to appear in the banner before you can actually get the character. The bottom line here is that the only real way to ensure that you are going to get that character that you want is to make a lot of wishes and pay a lot of money. I've played subscription games before and that's fine for me. For example, I played Warcraft for years and you have to pay a monthly fee and that's fine for me. But in this case, if you really want to play with a certain character, you have to spend a lot more than that. The problem that I see here is that it could become a real problem, not a game problem. You could be spending a lot more than you want to get a game character, and it's not even guaranteed. I mean, I'm not as sure about the number, but I think that to guarantee a character, the worst case scenario is that you will have to wish for it 160 times or something like that. And it's way more money than you think. You will be spending $100, $200 on a regular basis if you want to really maximize all your characters, having them all. The other thing with the characters is that it's not enough to get it one time. You will see, okay, maybe you're going to spend a lot of money or you will need a lot of luck to get that characters without spending money or on a free-to-play account. And once you get it, you are set. Well, not necessarily. Every character has one thing called constellation. What the constellation is that depending on the level of the constellation, the abilities of the character will change, will improve. So basically, if you want the best version of a character, you will have to unlock all the constellations. So how do you unlock the constellations for that character? Well, you will need to get that character a second time, a third time, 4, 5, 6, 7 times to unlock all the constellations for him. So that idea of a free game goes out of the window. It's no longer there. Can you play the game with the characters that you will get from time to time by making free wishes? Yes. Is it very likely that you will end up spending money to get the new characters and trying to unlock the constellations of these characters? Yes, that's also very, very likely. And one of the main things that I believe it happens is that when you start playing and you see this mechanic, you may consider to spend a certain amount of money every month. Like, okay, this could be like my monthly fee, and maybe that will be enough. You may think, oh, I'm never going to need these special characters. If I get one by just playing the content, fine. But it will always be there. And even if you only use wishes that you are getting for free, once you get that specific character, that 5-star character that it's on the current banner, you get that rush feeling. It's I don't know if you ever gamble on anything. It could be just like a simple bet with your friends, but that feeling that you get when you win, it's here. This is normally what happens. You make a wish, you get nothing. You make another wish, you get nothing. But when you make that wish and you get that character that it's, you know that it's so hard to get, you get that rush, that feeling, and that addiction really to wish. So it is very easy to shift the meaning of the game. You begin playing thinking that the ultimate goal is to end the story, to kill a certain monster, to finish a certain challenge, and somewhere in between, when you start making wishes, the game, it's not about that anymore. The game, it's about getting those characters and getting those wishes and the addiction rush that gives you when you get them eventually, even if you spend a lot of money. And in my case, I've been fortunate enough not to spend money on this game, but by playing only with the intention of actually making this video, I thought of spending money quite a bit of times. I think that it will be almost impossible for you not to spend money if you play this game on a regular basis. You could even have the objective of I'm going to beat the game without spending any money. And you will find that that's not that difficult really. The content is not that complicated. Of course, if you have the newest characters with a lot of constellations unlocked and good items, it will be easier. In my opinion, it's quite sad because the end game becomes getting these characters, making wishes, spending money. It doesn't matter that much the content anymore. I mean, there's a bunch of content and you will find a lot of monsters and there's a lot of grinding involved, of course, but that could be okay. The challenges, all that becomes secondary. The most important thing will be to get that new character, the new characters that are going to release, to farm enough resources to have as much wishes available when the banner is active, so you can wish for them. And if you don't get them, maybe spend money, lots of money to get them. And I think that's very sad because there's a lot of potential in the game. I mean, even if it's not particularly my style, the aesthetics of the game, how the characters look, the level of the story, if you will, you can see that there's a lot of love of the people that make this game. There's a lot of love into the environments, into the characters, into the models, into the whole game. But it becomes a game that it's, I could almost say, unhealthy to play. Because it will give you just like a very brief rush of excitement when you win that wish. But most of the time it will be grinding to get that very, very small moment of excitement. And I don't think that's worth it. I mean, even if the game looks okay, it's fun to play, even if you can see all that time and effort put into the game by all the creators and developers and designers. So my personal recommendation for you is not to play this game. If you are playing this game just for the content, just for the challenge, and you don't care about the wishes, I think it will be a good experience. But that's very unlikely. They will pull you with everything they got into wishing, and once you get that rush, it's like an addiction really. So my personal opinion will be, don't play these games. If you play these games, worst, if you give not just a little bit of money like a subscription, but a lot of money to get so little in return, we're going to make sure that these games will continue to appear and to come for us and our time and our money. And at some point, these games stop being fun. That's not the main thing anymore. And I think that shouldn't happen. I know that this will be your opinion ultimately, but Please just take that into account. If you're going to play and you see that it's not healthy for you in any way, I think you shouldn't continue playing. If you are spending more than you should, obviously stop playing. It's not a good idea. If you somehow manage to make a balance between the game, the fun and everything, go for it. There's no problem about it. But just be aware of the dangers, because it's very easy to get pulled into those, and it's really an addiction. If you made it to this point in the video, please let me know what you think. I'll be happy to read your comments. And remember that this is my opinion. I'm not saying by any means that this is the absolute truth. It's just my point of view. It'll be interesting to see if there are more people that are thinking like me, or if you have another point of view, let me know. Will you be trying this game? Will you be walking away from this game? Let me know. And thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Bye.